here, and thank you for letting me in. I heard that nobody can come inside. You're telling me, so thank you. I'm honored and privileged. So I wanted to talk to you about. You had mentioned something about the 75th anniversary of Pakistan that is coming this year. There was an idea that you were talking about. So what is that? Do you want to share?
بھائی شوہر اصل میں یہ ہوا تھا کہ وہ 14 اگست ساری یوم آزادی کا کرتے ہیں. آپ نے میں کتنی اٹینڈ کی ہیں یہاں کوشش کرتے ہیں. وہ کووڈ کی وجہ سے نہیں ہو پایا تھا, زوم پہ کیا تھا. تو خیر اور پھر اس دفعہ کیا ہوا کہ بھائی وہ 75th اینیورسری ہے نا, تو ہم تو اب یہ تھا کہ میں سوچا تھا کوئی ایسی چیز کرے جو یونیک ہو, جو ہم 75th سے ہم افیلیٹ کر سکتے ہیں. یہ تھا میرے.
تو وہ آئیڈیا کیا ہے
بھائی؟ ایک جو مجھے سب سے زیادہ جو آئیڈیا جو لگ رہا ہے نا اسٹرانگ, وہ یہ ہے کہ ہم کیوں نہ ایک ڈاکیومنٹری بنائیں. مگر یہ کہ یہاں اتنی کمیونٹی ہے اور ماشاءاللہ بہت وائبرنٹ ہے کہ ہمیں بتانا چاہیے کہ ہماری جو طرز زندگی ہے یہاں کر رہے ہیں, ہم پاکستان سے ہزاروں میل دور ہیں مگر ہمارا دل دھڑکتا ہے اور مٹی کی ہمیں یاد آتی ہے. تو یہ جو چیز ہے نا, اس کی عکاسی اس ڈاکیومنٹری میں ہو جائے. بھائی وائی یو ہے نا, میں نے کہا کہ آپ کی یہ ایکسپرٹیز ہے اینڈ آئی ڈونٹ نو آف اینی بڈی ایلس ہو کین ڈو اٹ بیٹر دین یو. اور آپ پی ایچ پی کے ممبر بھی ہیں, بلکہ آپ نہیں, آپ کی پوری فیملی ماشاءاللہ ممبر ہے. تو یہ تو ایک اضافائی ایک وہ ہو گیا نا. تو میں نے کہا کیوں نہ میں آپ کو اپروچ کروں. مجھے نہیں پتا تھا کہ آپ کا ریئیکشن کیا ہوگا. آپ کی
نہیں, آئی تھنک آئیڈیا بہت اچھا ہے. اور جو آپ نے دیا ہے کہ بھائی یہاں پہ جو لوگ ہیں پاکستانی, ان کی جرنی کیا ہے, پاکستانی امریکنز ہو کے یہاں پہ رہتے ہیں, سو وائی ناٹ ٹو کور دیم, رائٹ؟ دیٹس دی آئیڈیا. بالکل. تو وہ جرنی جو ہے وہ آپ چاہ رہے ہیں کہ اس کو ڈاکیومنٹری کی شکل میں دی جائے اور پھر ہم لے کے چلیں. اور
تو میرا, آپ دیکھیے کریٹو آپ ہیں نا, میرے ذہن میں یہ تھا کہ ہم دونوں مسافر ہیں اور ایک سفر پہ نکل رہے ہیں. وہ سفر پہ جا رہے ہیں تو راستے میں ہمیں اور لوگ پھر ملاقات ہو رہی ہے نا, وہ ہماری کہانی کا ایک حصہ بن جائے.
ٹھیک ہے,
یہ رف کانسیپٹ ہی ہے.
ٹھیک ہے, تو پھر یہ کرتے ہیں ہم. پھر آپ بتائیے.
بسم اللہ کریں. پہلا قدم آپ کا ہو, میں آپ کے ساتھ ہم قدم ہوں.
تھینک یو. چلیں جی, ویٹ. ویل مے بی یو ڈونٹ ہیو ٹو ویٹ.
میساچیوسیٹس میں رہنے والے پاکستانی جب اس تلاش میں باسٹن کے پاکستانی قونصل خانے کا رخ کرتے ہیں تو وہاں ایک شفیق اور ہمدرد انسان ملیے باسٹن میں پاکستان کے اعزازی کونسل جنرل بیری ہافمن سے, جو گزشتہ 33 برس سے میساچیوسیٹس میں مقیم پاکستانیوں کی خدمت کر رہے ہیں.
In the 1970s, a friend of mine's father was a professor at Harvard.
70 کی دہائی میں اپنے دوست کے ذریعے پاکستانی سفیر صاحبزادہ یعقوب علی خان سے ملا اور پاکستان میں میری دلچسپی پیدا ہوئی. ایک ریئل اسٹیٹ ڈیولپر ہونے کے ناطے میں بہت سے لوگوں کو جانتا تھا اور صاحبزادہ یعقوب کا تعارف ان سے کروا دیتا تھا. ایک موقع پر انہوں نے مجھ سے پوچھا کہ کیا میں اعزازی کونسل جنرل بننا چاہوں گا, کیونکہ ان کے نزدیک باسٹن ایک اہم شہر تھا, تاہم اتنا اہم نہیں کہ وہاں باقاعدہ کونسل خانہ کھولا جاتا. سو میں نے ہاں کر دی اور 1976 سے آج تک میں یہ کام کر رہا ہوں.
اپنی رہائش گاہ میں قائم پاکستانی قونصل خانے میں بیری سرکاری نوعیت کے کام تو سر انجام دیتے ہی ہیں, لیکن ان کے لیے اس عہدے کا بنیادی مقصد ہے مصیبت میں گھرے پاکستانیوں کی ہر ممکن مدد کرنا, جس کے اعتراف میں انہیں ستارہ قائد اعظم سمیت کئی اعزازات اور اسناد سے بھی نوازا گیا.
One comes to mind. This was a young student at Harvard. Now you have to be pretty bright to get into Harvard.
مجھے یاد ہے ایک مرتبہ ہارورڈ میں پڑھنے والا ایک ذہین پاکستانی لڑکا شدید ذہنی دباؤ کا شکار ہو گیا. وہ کسی کو اپنے کمرے میں نہیں آنے دے رہا تھا. اس کے دوست نے مجھے فون کیا کیونکہ یونیورسٹی والے اسے پاکستان واپس بھیج رہے تھے. میں نے جا کر انہیں سمجھایا کہ لڑکا نروس بریک ڈاؤن کا شکار ہے, اسے ڈاکٹرز کی ضرورت ہے, اسے یونیورسٹی سے خارج مت کریں. انہوں نے میری بات مان لی اور وقت کے ساتھ وہ صحت یاب ہو گیا اور اس نے پڑھائی مکمل کر لی. یہ یاد کر کے مجھے بہت خوشی ہوتی ہے.
کونسل جنرل کے کردار میں بیری کی ملاقات پاکستان سمیت دنیا بھر کی بہت سی معزز شخصیات سے بھی ہوئی, جن کی تصاویر قونصل خانے میں ہر طرف نظر آتی ہیں اور جن کے دلچسپ قصے ہمیشہ بیری کی یادوں میں محفوظ رہیں گے. باسٹن میں پاکستان کی نمائندگی کرتے ہوئے بیری کو 30 سال سے زائد کا عرصہ گزر چکا ہے اور حال ہی میں انہیں باقاعدہ طور پر پاکستان کی شہریت بھی دی گئی.
मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई उस मौके पर किसी ने ज़राए मजाक कहा कि बैरी 17 करोड़ पाकिस्तानी अमरीकी शहरी बनना चाहते हैं और आप पाकिस्तानी शहरी बन रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ। मुझे पाकिस्तान से बहुत मोहब्बत है और पाकिस्तानियों से भी।
हुकूमतों के मकासद हुआ कुछ भी हों, बैरी का मकसद सिर्फ अमेरिका आने वाले पाकिस्तानियों की जिंदगी आसान बनाना है, जिसे वो अपनी जिम्मेदारी से ज्यादा अपना शौक करार देते हैं। बैरी हॉफमैन से मिलकर इस बात का एहसास जरूर होता है कि खिदमत खल्क और मेहमान नवाजी की ना तो कोई एक कौमियत होती है और ना कोई एक मजहब, सिर्फ इंसानियत का जज्बा है जो हम सबको एक दूसरे से जोड़ता है।
I like what I'm doing. I hope I can continue. I'm proud to be a Pakistani American, and I just look forward to the future.
जी, my parents named me Ghazala Nahid Usmani, but I'm known as Nahid Usmani. So I'm a physician. I'm a graduate of King Edward Medical College, which I'm very proud of.
From Pakistan?
From Pakistan. An opportunity presented to me in shape of Shaukat Khanum Cancer Hospital that Imran Khan was building, and he was recruiting a team of physicians, oncologists, to run the hospital. So I spent the 5 years, almost 5 years in Pakistan, establishing the pediatric department. And that was the mountain I climbed, a mountain I can never forget, my biggest achievement in my life. Boston was so magical for me that I elected to come back to Boston. And that led me to make the New England chapter of the Pakistani Association.
Oh, okay.
So that was in 2003.
And can you name it? What's it called?
It is called APPNE, Association of Physicians of Pakistani Descent of New England. So I think there is a very strong core group of intellectuals here. So my interest has always been medical education.
Okay.
The other thing we did was we launched a telemedicine initiative where physicians here in US could give second opinions to physicians in Pakistan free of cost.
Oh, that's nice.
And that was again a humanitarian endeavor.
Service. Yeah, excellent.
So it was Ramzan. Every night in Ramzan, in Merit would have nightly COVID-19 rounds rising. The second thing we did was we raised funds. So Pakistan is the place that is like a mother. Everything that we do is because of Pakistan. Pakistan कायम और दायम रहेगा हमेशा
इंशाल्लाह,
और हमें उसकी कदर करना चाहिए। और हम सब पाकिस्तान के लिए बस हमें विजन होना चाहिए और हमें फोकस होना चाहिए, और अगर कोई पाकिस्तान से मदद मांगे कभी इनकार नहीं करना चाहिए किसी को। It's not and or. We are Pakistani Americans. We should be proud of both our ancestry and our current
adopted home.
जब मैं पाकिस्तान में थी तो मुझे मुस्तकिल लोग कहते थे तुम्हें क्या पता, तुम तो अमरीकन हो गई हो। लेकिन मैं एक अमरीकन पाकिस्तानी हूँ, दोनों शख्सियत मेरे अंदर हैं। सो पाकिस्तान की मोहब्बत हम सबके दिल में है और हम उसकी फलाह चाहते हैं हर तरह से, और हम सब की जो नीयत है वो यही है कि जिस तरह पाकिस्तान की मदद कर सके हम करेंगे, और जब मौका मिला करेंगे, और जब किसी ने मांगा तो उसे देंगे, क्योंकि हमें एक दूसरे से अपने मुल्क की खुशबू आती है।
थैंक यू जी। ओके।
Safia Hassan.
अच्छा।
All my life I have been running colleges for girls
अच्छा।
here and there.
Okay.
And I had no problems. People are very keen and they always cooperated with me. My staff worked wholeheartedly with me, and the students were very happy because I understood the psychology of the young people.
अच्छा।
And I worked accordingly.
What do you yearn, if anything, for Pakistan?
It's a very difficult question.
Yes, it is. We can only ask you.
I didn't have any difficulty anywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere where I went, people cooperated with me.
Okay.
Yes, I am happy. People with whom I have the contacts,
Yeah.
they have been extra polite, extra good to me.
Right. Very good.
So I can't say I don't like America. Those, for example, my daughter, her
Right.
friends, their relatives, they all, you see, they were all very respectful, very willing to help me anywhere. My children are here, so I don't miss the Pakistan, to tell you very frankly.
Say it.
But in reality, I am prepared to do anything for Pakistan.
Very good.
That is the
That is.
Gigi.
in the interest of the people. I work for the sake of the students, for the people who needed any help from me. And I liked it and they liked me. It was a mutual affair.
Right. Right.
President, you can't believe he came to see me.
Acha.
Can you please believe that?
Yeah,
I was
वही तो मैं कह रहा
and
हूँ,
he
वही
came
बताया।
to see me.
हाँ.
And he immediately suggested, Mrs. Hassan, you work for the students of this area. That was in Peshawar. So I was surprised that the chief of the government is so helpful, so considerate, so respectful. In the interest of Pakistan, I believe that you should not think that you are doing it for somebody. It is your natural duty to
Right. Very
attend to the
important.
problem of Pakistan.
बहुत सही बात.
This is my feeling.
बिल्कुल सही कह रही
And
हैं.
this is what I calculated in my students and my staff. They
Right.
provided it out of the way. I was surprised why people listen to me so much.
You are part and parcel of all this gardening that we are going to see now.
माने या ना माने,
अच्छा,
I've
अच्छा।
toiled in this garden.
अच्छा. Good. चलें जी.
सारे ब्लूम करके ख़त्म हो चुके हैं, लेकिन आजकल जैसे पेशावर में मैं पला बड़ा तो वहाँ हमारे गुलाब बहुत होते थे.
जी,
मुझे
जी,
बड़ा
जी।
शौक है.
Very
तो
nice.
कई रंगों के गुलाब हैं
बहुत
और
खूबसूरत.
भी हैं, कुछ अभी ब्लूम नहीं हुए हैं.
इनके hydrangeas are his prized possession.
अच्छा.
अब भी शुरू हो रहे हैं bloom होना.
अच्छा.
ये
Very
अभी
nice.
कहलाता है ओक लीफ हाइड्रेंजिया, क्योंकि इसके पत्ते जो हैं वो ओक
बस इस तरह ही बढ़ता है ये.
और बड़े मतलब बुश बनेगी इसकी, अभी तो
अच्छा।
infant है।
ये कोशिश थी कि हर रंग के सफेद, नारंगी, गुलाबी, लाल,
हाँ।
ब्लू कम थे तो ये मैंने लगाए हैं.
Very
इधर भी,
nice.
उधर भी.
Very nice. Assalamu alaikum, greetings. My name is Shwa and I am sitting with someone very important and special for the Pakistani community, Pakistani American community. Please introduce yourself,
Sure.
who you are and what do you do.
Thank you, Shwa. So my name is Imran Qidwai. I was born in Peshawar, raised in Peshawar. I did all my education through electrical engineering through Peshawar University. I've been in the US for almost 40 years, actually coming in July, and in the Boston area for the last 38 years. So effectively now I consider myself a software engineer. And now I'm working in the area of climate action. And the simple headline is, I'm trying to save the planet for my grandkids.
Very nice.
Organization of Pakistani Entrepreneurs of North America. But today, it's more of a brand because we have expanded globally.
Okay.
Imagine 7 people sitting in somebody's living room eating desi lunch and thinking big and saying, hey, let's just have an organization for all of North America. At that time, there was a big ambition.
Excellent.
And we did not realize that it would actually become a global organization. What happened was about 70 or more people showed up, maybe more than 100. People flew in from LA, people flew in from San Francisco, people drove,
nice.
Rented a bus and came from New York. And as I said, open is, while I gave you the explanation, right now it's a brand, just like Hoover and Kleenex and everything, and we have gone global. I think the only other thing I would say is in the formation of Open in the early years, the other 7 founders, they were all critical. Imran Khan, and when one of the things we did was to make sure that we had the right chemistry between the people.
Sure.
We had a spirit of giving rather than taking. So, in fact, when we were looking for the first president, nobody wanted to be the first president.
Oh, wow. So
I believe we had to.
All of them are also humble.
We had to draw, have a drawing to decide who is going to be responsible.
That's nice.
So Imran Khan, our friend here, was the first president of Open. As I said earlier, I have spent more than half my life here.
Okay.
In some ways, I consider myself American, but I am proud to be a Pakistani American, as they say, Dil Dil Pakistan. So we, in fact, with some friends from my school, including some Bengali friends, we have in the pandemic era, we have a monthly call, and we are around the world, and we're considering a trip to Pakistan, inshallah, next year.
Oh, that's excellent. Very nice.
So my message, yes, my message to the people in Pakistan is that is to have unity, for the parents to make sure their children get educated, whether it's boys or girls. I certainly wish all the best to Pakistan and wish another great 75 years, and hope that we get out of some of the turmoil, have more unity, more progress. Pakistan has a lot of potential. Many of us who live here and elsewhere in the world, we came from the same soil.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, we have been successful, and sometimes I just wish and hope that our country, Pakistan, could be more successful than it has been so far.
Okay, excellent.
I just wanted to thank you. I'm certainly humbled and honored by you and Siraj kind of choosing to interview me.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Oh जी, ये है जी.
My name is Muniza Nasrullah, and I'm a realtor. I've been in real estate now for 21 years.
Wow.
It's been a while. Going strong. I started at a time जब लोग पूछते थे, how long have you been in the business? Before they would ask me anything else,
really?
Because I was about,
And why would they do that?
I think I was 24 at that time.
Oh, so they would be like, कितनी young
Exactly.
है तो. अब वो तो अभी भी हम पूछ सकते हैं, कितने साल हैं? अगर बता दिए ना.
I can't imagine having one boss dictate me the whole year. Here I have a new boss every 2 months. Each client of mine is my boss. So I was born and raised in Pakistan. I moved here 24 years ago. I still identify myself as a Pakistani American.
Okay.
You can take someone out of Pakistan, you can't take Pakistan out of them.
Oh,
right?
That's true.
As a Pakistani American, I've learned over the years, I love my country back home.
Okay.
And I love this country here.
Okay.
I love my country back home because that's where I was raised, that's where I was born. When it comes to America, right? I also feel I'm a very proud American.
Okay.
That's why I said Pakistani American, because this country has given me the opportunity. So I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to be able to excel and work hard and reap the benefits of hard work also. We're talking about Pakistan and 75 years of Pakistan and what life is like here. So first of all, when somebody comes to me to apply for a job on my team, like assistant work and paperwork and all that, I always, one of my biggest questions to them is, do you have a servant mentality? So, अगर आप अपनी मैं को अपने साथ लेके आएंगे, तो आप पीछे रह जाएंगे. Like I fear, उस दिन क्या होगा where I wake up and I don't have a goal to work for. And to answer your question about whether I would advise somebody to go into real estate or not. So one, you have to have the servant mentality, अपना मैं पीछे छोड़ के आए. And then secondly, you have to be very compassionate. But then the third one, which is really, really important to me, is confidentiality. Sure. So the pros are, I think this is sky's the limit. We get paid for advice.
Okay.
Right? And how honest are you with your advice? You need a partner in your life who's willing to help you there. No matter what kind of business you start, you have to work very hard. And success does not come overnight. बस ये मेहनत नहीं छोड़नी. Thank you. Thank you.
میرا نام ہے اظہر ملک. میں پاکستان ضلع راولپنڈی واکنڈ سے ہوں.
اچھا
جی میں کھانے جو ہے میں نمبر 1 تو میرا پاکستانی کھانا ہے. میری کڑھائی کافی مشہور ہے. یہ پاکستانی جو کھانے ہیں گورے اسپیشل کڑھائی آ کے کھاتے ہیں, اور عربی بھی آتے ہیں جو وہ کئی دفعہ فون میں پکچر لے کے آتے ہیں کہ آپ کو کڑھائی چاہیے.
ریسنٹلی پتہ چلا ہے کہ ماشاءاللہ آپ کی بیٹی نیو یارک یونیورسٹی میں پڑھ رہی ہے اور وہ کچھ ہی عرصے کے بعد پوری ڈینٹسٹ بن جائے گی.
نیکسٹ ایئر
2023 میں وہ گریجویٹ کر جائے گی.
ابھی تو ٹریننگ اس کی چل رہی ہے تو اس کے بعد وہ
ڈینٹسٹ بن
جائے گی.
ماشاءاللہ.
تو یہ میرا کافی بچپن سے ہی جب وہ پیدا ہوئی تھی تو میرا شوق تھا تو میں اس کو ڈاکٹر بنانا ہے. تو وہ جب 4 سال 5 سال کی ہوئی تو اس کو میں یہی کہتا تھا تم کو ڈاکٹر بننا ہے. پھر ماشاءاللہ اس نے محنت کی ہے کافی. جی تو ابھی تو اللہ کا شکر ہے کہ میں تو اللہ کا جتنا بھی شکر ادا کروں وہ کم ہے.
کوئی بھی آرڈر آتا ہے تو آپ کبھی کسی کو نہ نہیں کرتے؟
میرا دل نہیں کرتا ہے کہ میں کسی کو نہ کرتے. میں اللہ تعالیٰ کی طرف سے مجھے کوئی ایسی مدد ہو جاتی ہے کہ میں نہ تو کی نہیں ہے لیکن میں آرڈر بھی پورا نکال دیتا ہوں.
ماشاءاللہ.
میں سب سے پہلے تو اپنے سب پاکستانیوں کو 75ویں سالگرہ پہ مبارکباد دیتا ہوں. اور پیغام یہ ہے کہ پاکستان کے لیے جب ہم ادھر بیٹھ کے نیوز وغیرہ سنتے ہیں اس میں کیا ہو رہا ہے ادھر پاکستان میں, یہ جو آج کل چل رہا ہے, تو اس کے لیے کافی دل پریشان ہوتا ہے, دل دکھتا ہے ہمارا. جو پیچھے ہماری فیملی بھی ہیں, دوست وغیرہ ہیں, یا جو بھی جتنے بھی پاکستانی ہیں ان کے لیے ہم چاہتے ہیں کہ ہماری کنٹری میں کوئی ایسا سسٹم آ جائے, ایسا کچھ ہو جیسے ہم ادھر خوش ہیں, اپنا کام کرتے ہیں, کسی چیز کی کوئی پرابلم نہیں ہوتی ہے. تو میں یہی دعا کرتا ہوں اللہ تعالیٰ کوئی ایسا سواب کرے تو ہمارے لوگوں کا بھی ادھر حال اچھا ہو.
انشاءاللہ آمین. بہت شکریہ.
جی میرا کھانے جو کیٹرنگ ہوتی ہے ویڈنگ پارٹیوں کی جو ہے وہ یہ میریٹ میں ہوتی ہے, شیراٹن میں, ڈبل ٹری میں.
تو کچن دیکھیں.
جی
چلیں جی اب ہم ان کا کچن دیکھتے ہیں. یہ کیا ہے؟
یہ ابھی یہ کھانا تیار کیا ہوا ہے آپ نے.
اچھا
آ رہے ہیں.
ویری نائس. یہ تو بھوک لگ جائے گی آپ لوگوں کو دیکھتے ہی. ہیں جی چلیں جی ہم دیکھ رہے ہیں ان ایکشن. اظہر از ان ایکشن, ہاؤ ہی از کوکنگ. زبردست ادرک ہے, صاف ستھرا پیارا سا
چکن بنتا ہے نا.
اچھا
باربیکیو کر کے وہ ڈالنا پڑتا ہے.
یہ جی اظہر کی
اس میں گاجر حلوہ بنائیں گے, ابھی شروع کریں گے. لگ رہا ہے ابھی اور سے دور میں لگا ہوا ہے, آپ کو دکھا دیں. یہ میرا بھتیجا ہے.
اچھا ماشاءاللہ.
یہ 5 سال پہلے آیا تھا, 5.5 سال پہلے, اور ابھی پورا ٹرین ہے. تو بزنس جو ہے نا, خاص کر کے جو ڈائننگ کا بزنس تھا وہ تو بالکل ہی ختم ہو گیا تھا. اور جو کیٹرنگ بھی تھی وہ بھی کوئی نہیں رہی. ماشاءاللہ اللہ تعالیٰ کی طرف سے بھی, اور میری اپنی جو کمیونٹی ہے, جو ادھر پاکستانی کمیونٹی ہے, انہوں نے میری بہت ہیلپ کی ہے.
کس لحاظ سے, کیسے؟
یہ اگر ہر لحاظ سے کی ہے.
اچھا
جی کھانا جس کو نہیں بھی چاہیے تو پھر وہ بھی لے کے جاتے رہے ہیں.
بہت شکریہ آپ کا جی.
جی بڑی مہربانی آپ سب کی.
تھینک یو. یہ ہر جگہ جہاں کھڑی ہوتی ہے ہمیں تسلی ہوتی ہے کہ یہ کہ پتہ چل جاتا ہے کہ پنجابی گرل کا کھانا ہے. شکریہ. اور یہ دیکھیں we have someone who is very deeply connected to Pakistan. We would like to know who Rana is.
Well, I was, my given name was Guli Rana Minhas, and now I'm married, and my name is known as Rana Tivnan here. Okay. And I worked as I've had 2 careers in my life. I used to work as a teacher, and then somehow, fate got me towards IT, and I work IT. So I work in technology now.
All right. Thank you.
I think I identified myself as a Pakistani, just a Pakistani for a very long time. But I've lived in this country over a long period of time, and the United States has given me a lot as well. So I'm certainly a Pakistani American, I would say now, because I've worked here for over 30 years. But Pakistan is a part of me I can never forget, never will.
What's your take on freedom? Like, how would you say what freedom is?
I was, raised in Pakistan. I was born in Pakistan, and I was raised by very patriotic parents. And I'm the first generation Pakistani, basically. And hearing stories from them about how they used to live in India and they had to move to Pakistan, and they traveled at the time of partition with my oldest sister, who was only 6 months old. And so the hardship that they went through at that time, but also the kind of life that they lived when they were younger, and the kind of discrimination that they saw. They used to tell us stories how it was for them. And she would say that, when we were kids, we used to tease other girls, and we would go and touch them. And then they would say, we have to go and bathe at home because now we are not pure anymore, to purify ourselves. So that's how they were treated in that culture. And so we began to appreciate freedom and what we were given when Pakistan was created, because, that's how we were raised. And my brother Rashid, I remember him telling us as children that you have to respect your elders, and we have to give back to our parents, and we have to give back to our country. Our generation, extremely fortunate. We got the best education, and of course we were even more privileged because the status of our our family, we were given good education, and so I'm so ever grateful for what I got from Pakistan.
We have an honor to be sitting with Rana, who is you are the younger sister.
When, obviously Rashid was my brother, and when the first thing that somebody mentions his name is the trauma that we went through when we lost him, of course that was extremely painful, and I think we shared that among us as a family, my cousins, my siblings, my parents, but also his course mates who were in the Air Force. I remember he respected elders a lot, and he would I remember him sitting at my mom's bed and पैर दबाते हैं, just अम्मी के पैर दबाते हैं.
अच्छा.
And so those were, when you see your older siblings do some things like that, that's a lesson learned for younger ones. Said how he respected and loved his elders. Very compassionate, loved to have family around him. And he, at a very young age, he appreciated life.
Oh, wow.
He lived it to the fullest. He had a beautiful smile, and that's really, I always think of him smiling when I
That's nice. That's nice.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Syed Haseeb Arshad. I'm a biomedical engineer working at MIT Lincoln Laboratory, and I am a resident of Groton, Massachusetts.
Thank you. What is that attracts you to Pakistan?
Sure thing. We've grown up being very, very connected to Pakistan. That was a courtesy of you and the mahol you created at home, where we spoke Urdu at home, and not just spoke, but we were very consciously learning to read, write, speak, listen, coupled with culturally, you're playing ghazals all the time, the music's always on, you're cooking that kind of food. So there was this kind of innate understanding that we're Pakistani, at least growing up. And it also helped that we went back to Pakistan. Obviously, then you develop some connection with family and friends there. You develop a connection with the place, the culture.
Any message that you would like to give to youth of Pakistan, in Pakistan, and Pakistani Americans?
So to any Pakistani American youth, and this can go to any, I think, first generation immigrant youth, whatever you decide to do in terms of your identity or how you engage in life, and whatever interests you have or hobbies you have, the only thing I would ask is, if you do have some sort of background or some connection to a motherland beyond the United States, I would suggest at least just try to engage with it or understand it in whatever capacity you can. Not everyone is lucky to be able to have the access to the language or to the people, depending on how the parents bring them up, depending on how involved the parents want to be with kind of the home culture. But I think there can be so much beauty in being able to engage in multiple perspectives and multiple cultures, and the richness that brings into one's own life, that at a minimum one should at least try to engage with it, and not give up on it too quickly if possible. Honestly, I would give a similar message, that I think we do have a beautiful history, a beautiful culture within all our diversity in Pakistan. And I think just being grounded in that, knowing what that truly is, without the colonial brainwashing, without internalizing maybe the stories that we may have heard from the colonial masters, and really kind of being able to ground ourselves in the fact that we are something, we have something to offer, and not just offer, just to be, that we can, there's nothing to be ashamed of in terms of who we are, as South Asians, as Pakistanis, as Punjabis, Balochis, Sindhis, Pashtuns, whatever we are. At least engage with your roots and where you come from historically, and just see where that leads you. Because for me, it's been a very enriching and grounding experience. Sure, Azadi Mubarak. I think it's it's wonderful that we got our independence from the British as a region, and for Pakistan especially. Like, I hope we have more political stability. I hope the average person's life significantly improves at some point, just in terms of basic infrastructure, and just not having to suffer so much on a daily basis to survive.
So do you plan to go again and immerse yourself in Pakistan?
Absolutely. I mean, part of the Urdu program was, for me, another goal was building my own connections and my own associations with various people and institutions there. And my hope is, as much as I possibly can, remain connected to and involved with Pakistan, and being able to go back and forth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Even the bird is agreeing with you. अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
जी, हम किससे बात कर रहे हैं?
जी, मेरा नाम फरा अब्बास है, एंड आई एम द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इस्लामिक सेंटर ऑफ बॉस्टन वेलेंट।
ये हमें थोड़ा सा टूर देंगी और उसके बाद हम बैठ के इनसे बात करेंगे। चलिए जी, लेट्स गो। चलिए,
ये हमारे एंट्रेंस पे आ रहे हैं।
ये जी एंट्रेंस है, ठीक है।
तो हमारा सोशल हॉल है, यहाँ हमारे सारे इवेंट्स होते हैं। We started this green initiative last year, right before the pandemic. तो अब हमने उसको fruition में लाया है।
अच्छा।
And we have a team. Again, a center like this doesn't run on its own. There's a whole village. As you can see, ये डिजाइन इस तरह हुआ है कि मर्द और औरत दोनों ही इस स्पेस में होते हैं। And mashallah, we have quite a lot of women attend our Jummah prayers.
अच्छा, अच्छा।
We, as you can see, it's extensive space. हमारी लाइब्रेरी है।
ये देखिए,
यहाँ संडे स्कूल के दौरान बच्चे आते हैं to do research on their projects on Sunday school, kind of share with them कि हज का सीन किस तरह होता है, and the amount of people and the unity and the discipline.
Very nice.
We have a lot of Quran that we distribute to new Muslims or converts. वो भी यहाँ रहता है. This is the board in which we have documented all the people who have been on the board of ICB.
किचन तो बहुत जबरदस्त होता है। देखें जी, साफ सुथरा, लाइट ऑन करिए, क्या बात है। यहाँ पे हमारा
जी इवेंट सारे जो रन होते हैं, उसके जो खाना वाना आता है,
रमजान पूरा चलता है, बहुत
सहरी। I basically empower the people, the volunteers, जो community यहाँ की है, engage them and try to be here and support them in their good times and in their rough times. जी वो तो बचपन से करते आ रहे हैं, वो सब फ्लैग्स लगे हुए होते थे और कौमी तराने चल रहे होते थे, तो आई ग्रू अप विद ऑल ऑफ दैट. कौमी नगमे गाते थे, कोई भी कायदे-ए-आज़म पे कोई स्पीच हो रही है तो अल्लामा इकबाल पे कोई स्पीच हो रही है, तो यस बचपन से करते आ रहे हैं. तो जब मैं यहाँ अमेरिका आई हूँ, तो जब बच्चे हुए तो हमारा एक ट्रेडिशन था कि वी वुड गेट अप ऑन 14th अगस्त, हम सब ग्रीन और वाइट पहनेंगे. जी बिल्कुल. मैंने कहा ये अच्छा मौका है टू डू दैट. बच्चों को ग्रीन टी शर्ट लाई जाती थी, उनके लिए वाइट शॉर्ट्स, बिकॉज समर होता था. And you know we would celebrate by going and attending. हम Pakistan Association से बहुत involved थे, often go and attend their functions. So yes, it's very much part of our life. जी कह तो नहीं कि मैं first president हूँ, लेकिन I have to say it's you know this center alhamdulillah has a lot of women who really are the powerhouse of this center. How is it for me as a leader? I think you know as women we always bring a feminist approach. I think men do too, but I think we are more about it's a caring and nurturing approach, right? Nurture the people around you, care for the people around you. MashaAllah, very well supported by, I can't even name the number of people who support me in this process. क्योंकि अकेले कोई नहीं खड़ा हो सकता, पीछे 1000 लोग खड़े होने होते हैं तो फिर सक्सेस होता है. My husband always very much into gender power and has always been saying कि तुम behind the scenes ना करती हो, why don't you take leadership position? I'm like नहीं, leadership is too much. I certainly want my nephews and nieces who are there in Pakistan to see this and realize कि I don't know when it will happen in Pakistan, but at least have those germs in their head, in their minds कि ये possible है and ये किस तरह पहुंचना है, ये journey को कैसे start करना है. I'm really honored to be given this opportunity and really honored to be part of the 75th celebration of Pakistan's Independence Day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for showing up.
And greetings.
My name is Shahir Praja. I grew up in the city of Lahore and I was born with childhood asthma. That's part of what's influenced me on the career I've chosen, which is I pursued a degree in biomedical engineering, and then I have I'm right now currently serving as one of the founders of a medical device company called Embolizer that focuses on helping patients with respiratory disease. My childhood asthma started when I was 1, and probably the 1 to 5 was probably one of the most difficult times for both me and my parents.
So this is called?
So this is basically essentially this is a low-cost breathing device. As a asthma patient myself, I realize the importance of this device and the impact it can have on patients like me and many others. The goal with Embolizer is that you will basically we've taken a full-fledged $40,000 traditional ventilator and boiled it down, taken out the bells and whistles, boiled it down to what is a portable and effective, easy to use device that can address 90% of ventilation demand and a fraction of the cost. Our goal right now is out of the 100, can we try to save the 90%? Right now in Pakistan, the problem is such that even patients who can, like you and me, walk out of the hospital the next day are not able to do that because there's no ventilator available to keep them alive for long enough for the doctor to come and diagnose them. And I would like to personally thank Siraj Saab from PHEB and Usman Saab from Feroz Sons for supporting this endeavor and our journey by getting these devices to those patients who need them most.
Any message for Pakistan on this 75th anniversary?
It's a matter of pride to celebrate the 75th anniversary this year. And what I would like to say is that this started off of a personal need, and in just a few years, with a lot of determination and grit and perseverance, we're able to reach this place. But that is just to be as an example to many others that this is something anybody else can do out there. All Pakistanis who are hearing this, I would like to encourage them that just keep dreaming big. I mean, I hope that Embolizer serves as an inspiration to 50 more medical devices to come or 50 more healthcare products to come. We haven't seen a lot of innovation here in Pakistan, and my hope is and my dream is that innovators from Pakistan come and help uplift that the country, uplift the healthcare of Pakistan. And maybe there will be a day when Pakistan becomes the hub of healthcare and it is exporting to countries across the world.
I'm a humble citizen of the world and of Pakistan, and just a couple of things. I've just written a book on Pakistan, which is called Gems and Jewels, the Religions of Pakistan. So that took me a couple of years to research.
So I would like you to educate us on that. What does the flag really mean with all its colors and moon and star?
Thank you so much, Shua. That's a good question. In fact, if you notice, I'm wearing green and white.
Yes. Yes.
And of course, green and white are both very important colors because the green is very peaceful to the eyes and the white is a pure color. And in this specific context, when Pakistan was being created, it was created as a nation for a minority in the larger subcontinent. And when that nation got its independence, it also made a space for its own minorities. And I think that's such a beautiful concept. That's a sort of sense of empathy when you step in someone's shoes. You've been through a difficult time, but you can understand someone else's point of view and avoid them from feeling the same trauma or difficulties. And that's the ideal. Sure, the white in the flag is for the minorities and the green is for the majority. But of course, one can't work without the other. So they're both, it's like life. It's like yin, yang, or male, female. It's like life itself. It's like the breath in, breath out. Each one is dependent on the other. And therefore, we can't say only the green matters or only the white matters. The whole picture matters. And the division is not black and white. It's far more complex than what it is. Yes, so sure, first of all, we are in a slightly difficult position at the moment, internally and externally. So the first message is for people to stop squabbling. Save the country. That's the first message. Look at the big chunk. So look at the bigger picture. Everybody has to unite as a team to help, number one. Number two, how can you be valuable? Not just to yourselves, but to the whole world. When you can be valuable to the world and say, look, for example, if you just simply, Shua, read this book. Yes. And in this book, you will see literally, so many examples of communities that speak up so passionately for being good global citizens. They speak up they have a story. They're inclusive of women. They're inclusive of minorities. So we need to, first of all, hear those voices. The most amazing country with these gorgeous mountains, rivers, diverse people. You have languages. Rabbi's given you, a treasure. Yes. Enjoy it, appreciate it, support it. So the message for Pakistanis all over the world is please be hopeful and please be positive. And once you have a mindset like that, that allows you to act upon it. So you don't say, oh, the negative part, you say, let's do something positive. And you actually do. You follow that up. Your thought is followed by your action. Especially, Shua, they say in the East, they have all these saints and all these barakah, blessings of the saints. So if you have so many saints in a place like that, surely there is some barakah. Spiritual blessings. There's barakah, blessings and goodness.
But for now, thank you, Pakistan, and we wish you a happy anniversary. And I hope, as Dr. Hoti said, stay positive and stay hopeful.
Thank you very much. Bless you and Zindabad. Pakistan Zindabad.
Yes, Pakistan.